Hey, if you didn't know already, I did an interview with the one, the only Pixelated Apollo, the biggest Total War YouTuber on the platform. With over 830,000 subscribers, he is getting close to that 1 million, and I had the pleasure to sit down with him for an hour or so and talk about life, how he copes on YouTube, what he wants to do on YouTube, his thoughts on leaving Total War, and of course, in this highlight video, what he really thought of the release of Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. As I mentioned, this is a highlight from the podcast, but I thought it just fit in my channel so well, I'd chuck it up here and see what you guys think. So I'd love to see your responses down below, but make sure you click the link in the description or the pinned comment in order to go and check out the full episode or listen to it on your favorite streaming platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, Apple, whatever the Steve Jobs people do these days. So let's get straight into the video. With this whole multiplayer thing, I can sort of relate in a weird way with Mount & Blade because I love Warband, one of my favorite games. That's what I built my channel on, much like you did with the earlier Total Wars, playing the multiplayer, and I was doing clan events and stuff like that. Bannerlord comes out. Yeah, we don't really care about multiplayer.
Yeah. Well, that's another disappointment. I'm gonna be real. Bannerlord was not good.
Like as a general package, or just the multiplayer?
In a general package. I mean, I was not impressed, and I love them. You know, yeah. I think they mean well. I don't think they were like trying to just make a cash grab. I just think that they had a lot of issues developing this new game, and they probably restarted over and over and over. And don't get me wrong, the game's not out technically. It's like an early access, you know. So it's there, and you know they're gonna fix it, but if Warhammer came out, the same thing kind of happened. You know, it was, I don't think multiplayer for Warhammer came out when it first released until a while.
I actually can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, at least that's what, I didn't play Warhammer when it like first came out, but that's what people tell me, like, hey, you know, like it took Warhammer a long time to really build up the multiplayer community. And so, you know, the mods, it looks like they did a good job with the modding tools and everything. And
even then, I've spoken to modders, and the modders from Mount & Blade just unhappy with that.
Oh,
like,
really?
From like just a general perspective, it looks like there's lots of mods, but that's just because the modding community from Warband was so big. But I mean, the modders, I don't know if you saw this, but the modders, like all the big ones that are making like the big persistent world mods, the Lord of the Rings one, the Star Wars ones, they came together and wrote a letter to Tailwood saying, please, we need some better modding tools.
Ooh. Yeah, but I feel like Tell's Worlds would listen, you know. I don't know how long it's gonna take them. You know, I don't think modding tools.
What do you mean? They're pretty good with their timing.
Yeah. How long didn't they spend like 9 months working on cloth or something? I forgot.
I don't know. Like, but it was like that stage when I was like 50k subscribers, like doing all the devblog stuff for Bannerlord, and I was struggling when they were bringing out a devblog saying, we've done this cool thing with these cloaks, or we've now added camels to the game.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. And yeah, I was really looking forward to multiplayer for Bannerlord. You know, I had these great, and this is partially my fault for just assuming, you know, my imagination is going to be the truth. But you know, like I'm really big into like competitiveness and like clan battles, and I was like, oh, we're gonna do that in Bannerlord. We'll do these epic, like, I had this idea where like clans could get on and like attack, defend castles, and it'd be really fun to watch. And
did you play many of the clan stuff in Warband? Because you had Call to Arms, but like as in like the other community ones that were put on.
I watched a lot of the competitive scene. Yeah. I thought it was really cool, and I was like, this is awesome. I mean, like, these guys are really good, and it's a team. I love group struggle. Like, I love the team aspect of stuff. And then I heard Bannerlord, like, they were gonna work on making sure they made a better, because the community kind of made the competitive scene.
Yeah, well, the community made Mount & Blade in general with how And I still think people don't realize it. I see in my comments all the time when I'm talking about why doesn't it have private servers in Bannerlord. They're like, no one plays multiplayer. I'm like, I went to when I was like 16 and I was like leading these Napoleonic Wars regiments in the DLC. Every single night of the week, I went to an event with 200 players in it every night, and there were like 6, 7 of these events on every single night. Like, it was so big, and it baffles me why that wasn't the first thing that they decided to do.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious to think that, like, oh, nobody does multiplayer when there has been a huge new genre of games that were inspired by the Holdfast, War of Rights, Battlecry Freedom, Prime and Load. Like, it is a huge, and people love that stuff. I mean, they love being part of a regiment, and these are my guys, and we get on and we meme, and you know, and yeah, I if I was in charge of Bannerlord, I'd be like, put me in charge of the multiplayer aspect. I would, yeah, I would love to just create cool mechanics and functions that make that stuff even more convenient.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think the future for the multiplayer of Bannerlord is going to be? Because, I mean, at least for me, even if they bring out private servers now, obviously I'll get on it, but I think a lot of the player base will have gone, because the big thing that I was really excited for with Bannerlord coming out is because it basically did, it was like top 10 games on Steam, broke in sort of the mainstream, and I was like, oh, all these people coming in, we can have even bigger multiplayer events. They've all gone now. Like that big wave.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they could still save it. I think if they keep improving the modding tools and improving the multiplayer, I think they can get it back. I just think people are waiting. I mean, I have a lot of people who are like, yeah, I just play Warband still. You know, I just do multiplayer Warband, and
there's still loads of events going on with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of different communities of like Siege communities, and yeah. So I think they still can do it. It's just a little disappointing on the release, but you know, I think in time, hopefully, I don't know. I mean, like we were just talking about, there's a lot of competitors now in that category, so yeah, we'll see.